Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing today? As if Helene, Isaac, Florence, Paul, Olivia, and Manka Hunt weren't enough, it looks like now we have a situation in the Gulf, or soon to be in the Gulf, that needs to be watched. We have a new player on the board. Are you ready for it? Player 1. This has a 20% chance to develop in the next 5 days. And they're pointing an arrow into the Gulf of Mexico towards Texas. So this is a great time to remind y'all, I work as a publicly funded YouTube channel. My independent news is brought to you by you through your contributions and donations. So if you want to keep me alive and help me get my car fixed, so in case I got to get the heck out of Dodge, you can leave a contribution or donation through the PayPal link located in the information box. Thank you. I appreciate it. And as I've been warning you about Hurricane Florence for over 10 days now, unfortunately, that situation looks extremely serious. We are going to run down something real quick that I put together that kind of shows what we're dealing with here. This is 24 inches or more of rain. And these are like the last 10 model runs that it has shown us. So we should be able to see variables from here on what could possibly happen. And the more and more we get closer to this event, I believe the GFS model is either wrong or flat out lying. Because as we can see, it is keeping all of this, the majority of the time, off of the coast. Except for the few times at like the 6Z at night, when everybody's gone to bed, they show the Doomcast. And so, like, for example, the one during the Sunday, though it shows what is still a very scary situation, but I'm noticing for 110 million people being in danger in almost less than 4 days from a major hurricane that could cause catastrophic cataclysmic damage. The media is really not talking about it that much outside of weather Twitter, from what I can tell. Look how giant that storm grows to be as it moves out. And so now imagine on this situation where this storm goes west more than the models are indicating. If that happens, this could easily be, without a doubt, the worst weather disaster in American history. And it shows, Cat 5 strength on this one. So if you had a Cat 5 hurricane rotate over one of the most heavily populated areas of the East Coast, that would do absolute major catastrophic damage. And if you'll notice, this whole process looks like exactly what carved out the East Coast. So this is one of those situations where I don't know how to convey the message properly that will break through, that will make people realize how either we have the worst system where it's like 8 different models and you don't know which one to pick from, like the shell game, like which shell is the peanut under, or if they're trying to confuse us. Because right now I believe the American media should be covering this story the same way they covered John McCain's funeral, and that is not happening. And so this is why I think today and tomorrow are the most important, because if what I fear, and this is just me, I ask you to do your own research across multiple sources. And if you're going to make a decision, that is your call and your call alone for you and your family. But here is the high pressure zone. I think there's more weakness here than is being shown. So the GFS has it kind of sitting and spinning here. The Euro has it punching in and then stopping kind of right there. What I think is going to happen is it's going to do kind of one of these and then curve back out. And if that happens, that would be almost a worst case scenario. So, you know, if I am correct and the models shift, let's say tomorrow at 5 p.m. and then the media starts to freak out about it at 10 p.m. and it gets to the people by like Tuesday, that would leave about 2 days for people to, you know, kind of say, do we want to leave? Do we want to evacuate? Because some of the stats we've seen on this are there could be 48 feet waves. There could be 20 feet of storm surge. There could be over 2 feet of rain. And some model estimates, you know, the highest outliers have said 60 or 50 inches of rain, which may sound crazy, except for the fact that in the last year, we've had 3 instances where people got either 50 or 60 inches of rain from a tropical storm or a hurricane. So now what we're watching here is kind of like the red level, and the Euro shows it a little stronger, and the GFS shows it a little weaker. And what I can't figure out from the life of me is what causes it to just stall out like that. And then on top of that, so like this is, here's the Euro. So then you got Florence headed that way. You got Isaac headed here. And then they say Helene is going to do this and then just punch through the red, which I don't believe at all. And then you got this one down here developing. So this is why I've been talking about it for 10 months. And this is the situation I've been talking about. So that would be 1, 2, 3. We now have the four potential hurricanes that could eventually become hurricanes, or systems that could become hurricanes and threaten land. I'm not trying to scare anybody. It is better to be safe than sorry. And on that note, I do want to say there's still a miracle option, which I would love to happen, which would, you know, make me wrong, because I think that Florence is going to hit and cause damage. But there are some models still saying she could float and rotate and then go out to sea without any significant damage. I don't think that's going to happen. If it does, I will be very happy. But like I said, I think at this point, if we watch, like when we're watching this model, I don't understand what is keeping, let's show the GFS, it does it better. Because here's a high pressure system. And so the thing that on the GFS that would supposedly keep it would be that the same high pressure system, but then it just kind of sits there. And so it holds it almost in place like that. And so I think there's a lot of room for error. And if that thing goes west, it is absolutely devastating in ways I can't even begin to express, in ways that we haven't seen in modern times as far as disasters go, where the ocean has moved forward and doesn't go back anytime soon. I mean, like, just look at how the GFS works it up like that. That would be utterly catastrophic. And I think another thing people have to realize is this is a coastal storm. I mean, here's the difference between, there's the European and there's the GFS. And this is only, and that's still the 17th. So, and it's scheduled to be a 4 or 5 day storm no matter what. And so this is being billed as a North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia storm. But I really think there are threats to life and property and animals all up and down this coast. Like, as we can see the storm, as she's still sitting there rotating, it's going to affect a lot of places. And over the next 10 days, we could see, a devastating amount of rain into this area. I mean, look, that is up through, the whole cove. And see, like I said, how the cove is almost even carved out. It almost looks like the path would be up through there and then out. And so this is just something we got to watch. And if this frame wasn't getting you very awake and getting people to unify and work together as one American family, I don't know what to do, because now we're adding a new one to this one. And I don't even know what name comes after Isaac. H-I-A-B-C-D-E-F-G-H-I-J. We'll figure it out. But I will keep you guys posted. There's so much going on right now. This is Dr. Tamitha Skov talking about cross fingers that since the last burst of fast solar wind pointed mostly north, the next will point mostly south. This means a solar storm is possible. Field models show the coronal hole sending this next burst as field pointing the opposite way, red lines instead of blue. And so when the sun acts weird, Earth weather acts weird, and then people act weird. So we got another solar storm coming in. Helene is looking like a beast on satellite. I would guess this is a danger to Florida, if anything, possibly. And Marshall Shepard is saying the other story from Hurricane Florence, rain potential. That's what I'm talking about. And this could be underdone. And definitely underdone. But what was weird is, if you notice, the Houston area and South Texas is going to get a whole lot of rain as well. Right? If we get hit by a hurricane, that we would also be getting saturated before that. And that he's talking about this could bring flooding, landslides, falling trees, a significant fatality source during Sandy. I also recall many pig farms inundated in the North Carolina region due to Matthew. The UK Met has arguably performed the best of our global models so far with Florence. It shows the storm as a Category 4 hurricane with a low pressure of 37 millibars, which would make it about a Cat 4. 1 millibar stronger than Hazel. And then if you notice, it has Isaac posing a major threat to Puerto Rico and the rest of the islands. And I know that I've seen more public media talking about whatever happened with Serena Williams. I don't even know today. And this is what I was saying. I wish the media would cover this like John McCain's funeral. Because as Tim Balziti, points out, one of the models just have it just sitting and stopping and then spinning. And remember, Harvey did that, where it just sat and spin for like 5 days. So, well, it seems by PWMWXME, well, it seems the coast-hugging stationary thing is trending with each GFS run. Now, not a good thing. And then look how the storm just blows up. It's a crazy situation. Hurricane Woodbury, Blade's instinct. For anybody that lives inland but lives in the Carolinas and part of the mid-Atlantic, you should expect high winds, heavy rain, potential dam failures if this track is right. Please take this seriously and do not underestimate. Like I said, this is not your grandfather's weather. We are in a new time, new zone. Everything's weird. Seasons aren't even the same. And expect overnight there to be some surprises. And that if the media is going to start ringing the whistle bells for, hey, maybe you guys should evacuate. Maybe this is going to be a major storm. That wouldn't be till like Tuesday. And so, and then maybe even, we'll get more distraction stories. But look, if that right there ends up over here, it could be disastrous in so many ways. This is a game of inches and angles. But like I said, there is the small percent chance that it could pull up and then you have very few major impacts. But right now that situation looks very low chance. But look how giant this storm blows up into. That's almost half the United States. So it's just, I highly recommend Bernie Rayno. He's got on Twitter, he's got a Periscope where he kind of talks about the same thing, where he thinks it's going north or than is being advertised, and he thinks we don't know yet, but this could be just catastrophic on levels we haven't seen before. And then here, I'll close this with one great reason to support THORNEWS is I come up with science that no other scientists do. And I have been talking for a long time about what I've been calling the Mexico, America, I gotta rename it. That name sounds stupid. But like, look, it's like an atmospheric river, and Mother Nature continues to draw this in over the same strip of land. And so that is what is causing some of the main damage. It's almost like an equatorial electrojet water. And on top of that, we had the volcano in Mexico erupt today. Again, Popocatépetl. So that adds more crazy variables. And look, there is the storm we were talking about, the new one that we will be watching. And that already looks big and looks like it's only a few rotations away from being a giant hurricane. So we will stay vigilant. We will stay cool. We will be badass. It is time to come together, work together, and think of ideas outside the box. Or else we could have some grave days ahead. But I believe in us, and I believe in you. So if you do want to help keep THORNEWS alive, well, I mean, I'm doing okay, but like I said, I'd like to get my car fixed and just not have to worry about, if I do have to get out of town, being able to afford it. If you do want to leave a contribution donation, I appreciate it. I want everyone to have a great day, and I will be here working on this daily, because I think today and tomorrow are the most important days for you guys to be getting your plans ready, your preparations, having an idea of like, okay, if we do have to evacuate, where will I go? What time would I leave? Because I think if you are going to leave without any major traffic, the time would be Monday night. Because I think by Monday night, they'll start ringing the bell whistles, if not sooner. But I mean, they should be doing it now, technically yesterday. But if they are going to, then it would probably be tomorrow, or God forbid, Tuesday. Anyway, everybody stay cool, and I will talk at you soon.